David from Carlsbad, he writes in, he goes, we have a vacation property in Utah. Circumstances are forcing us to sell the property. Can the property be converted to qualify for a 1031 exchange into a California investment property?
That's a great question. So 1031 exchange, by the way, so this is when you have a rental property or income producing property, you can sell it and you have to follow the timelines, but then you could buy another replacement property that's at least as expensive as the one you sold, and you can defer that gain into the next property. And you'll still pay that tax when you sell that next property, plus whatever additional gain you have from that property. But that's what a 1031 exchange is. It's a great tool. But it's a good question, because a vacation rental is a mixed use rental. In other words, you're getting personal use generally, as well as the vacation rental. And so interestingly enough, in 2008, the IRS did a revenue procedure, 2008-16, that actually came up with a safe harbor on when you could do this. And here's the test you have to satisfy to be able to do a vacation rental on a 1031 exchange. Number one is you must have owned the property for at least 24 months immediately before the exchange. That's a little bit different than the normal rules. And number two, within each 12-month period, within that 24 months immediately preceding, in other words, the 2 years before you sell it, you must have rented out the property at market rates for at least 14 days. That's number one. And number two is your personal use of the property cannot have exceeded the greater of 14 days or 10% of the days the property was actually rented. So you got to satisfy those two things. And if you buy another vacation rental, you have to satisfy that again for the next 2 years. So you can do it. You just have to make sure you follow the rules.
What is the likelihood of that anyone passes that test?
Well, it's possible if you don't really use it much.
You never go to Utah. So David never had to visit the state of Utah, basically, is what you're saying. You go there for 2 weeks out of the year.
So if you rent it for like 250 days, right, you can spend 25 days in it. You could. It's possible.
Okay.
It's possible. It's not necessarily easy. So it doesn't really work if you use the property a lot yourself for personal use, but it can work. I thought you were going to ask, what's the likelihood the IRS would ever challenge that?
And they would challenge it all the time. We are strictly by the book here, Al.
And that's how I answered it.
Are you prepared for retirement? Schedule a free financial assessment with an experienced financial professional right online at purefinancial.com.